Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. And today I have a special truck for you sent over from HOSIM to check out and show to you guys. So this showed up today, and this is their 8 scale kind of race. It looks like a Creighton. I mean, it's that stunt truck looking body. Now, they didn't copy it. It's not an exact copy, but it is that, Creightoness, that Arma Creighton style kind of basher look. So the box doesn't really show it really well. So here is the truck. Now, I said 8 scale because a lot of the companies exaggerate just a slight bit. So pretty much you knock off 2 for every scale. So 8 scale is really 10 scale. 10 scale is really like an 18th scale, and it just goes down the line. But it is one of the larger vehicles you can find on places like Amazon and stuff like that. And this is where this one came from. So right away, it's a really good looking truck. I like it's like a silvery gunmetal and black with the red on there. The Victory winner, not super keen on that, but it's cool enough and easily enough covered up by another decal if you want. The gunmetal and red wheels are really nice, and the little additional white around the tire, that actually, snazzes it up a little bit. It has a big kind of rubberized rear wing, so it's not floppy, but it is a very flexible plastic back here, so that should hold up to a lot of flips and tumbles and everything. It does have roof skids on it and a really big front bumper with an LED light bar in it. Now, it comes with the protective plastic on it, which is great because it does save, bits and pieces from rubbing on the body and, things getting scratched up, during handling and packaging and shipping and all that good stuff. So it's nice that they put it on there. Now, really, to save yourself a lot of headache, there are 2 screws for each of these that you can get in from the inside. Just pop those 2 screws out on each one and take the roof skids off. Makes getting the plastic off a breeze. You don't have to pull these out. You just kind of have to start peeling the plastic up, and then you can kind of tear a little bit bigger hole where the hole is already punched through, and you don't have to take the little pins and the little retainer bungees things out. So real quick, what else is in the box? Of course, you get your typical HOSIM transmitter. I really hate that you guys put the sticker on top, but it is what it is. Basically, the sticker's on top telling you not to pull the trigger while it's binding with the truck. So when you turn the transmitter on, don't touch anything. Turn the truck on, it's fine. They just don't want you squeezing the trigger and messing with the calibration. Alright, so you get your accessory bag as well. In the accessory bag, you get a little fabric bag you can put the radio in. And I'm staring at my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. Of course, you get your manual, which has some really nice exploded views and all the part numbers for everything in here. So if you do break something, you can go back, find it, get the part number, and get it ordered. Parts availability is pretty good for these. And, if anything, there is a product registration card, warranty registration card, and also a little technical contact sites and numbers to where you can reach HOSIM directly and talk to them about an issue of your car. And if you can't figure out what part you actually need, you should be able to talk to them and get it figured out. You get your tools, so you get 2 small Phillips head screwdrivers. One is a larger head, one's a smaller, teeny tiny little one. You get an Allen wrench. You get your 4-way wrench for your tires and all the nuts on here. You get a spare battery strap. You do get 4 body clips with the bungee retainers on them. You get 4 wheel nuts and 4 hex cross pins in there. This does have aluminum hexes on it, which is nice to see, especially with the brushless power. You have your charger in here, and that charges your onboard, the included 3S pack. Now, specs-wise, this has a 9 kilogram digital servo in it, a 3660 3100 kV brushless motor that has a cooling fan on the motor. It has an 85 amp ESC that they say is rated up to 4S, and it's an all-in-one ESC and receiver that has a cooling fan in it as well. Now, as far as what they've done to this truck over other trucks, let me pop the body off here. So on this one, they actually have new nylon arms for these. So prior, they would have like a cast aluminum type arms, and they had actually sent me one of these, or sent me a different version, a prior version, and I actually sent it back. I didn't want to do a review on there because I didn't think it was quite up to snuff. There's too many little niggly things that I felt like would be problems down the road, and they've addressed a lot of them in this. One of them was the arms. The cast aluminum arms, yeah, it's a selling upgrade to say you have, aluminum suspension arms, but they didn't feel like they were going to last. I don't know. I didn't drive it. I didn't even run it. I just opened it up, looked at the truck, and was like, nope, and sent it back. I'm not going to bring you guys anything. I'm not going to sit here and show you guys a car that I'm worried that isn't going to hold up. So this one, with the upgrades they made, I'm a lot more confident that this will hold up to the abuse that it's going to see. So with the nylon arms, those should be a lot tougher than those cast aluminum things. Now, obviously, you'll get a little bit of flex in them, but flex is good sometimes. I would rather have an arm flex and bend back to where it was, or at least close to where it was, than just have an aluminum one that's going to either bend or probably snap off. The other big upgrade with this one is they do run fairly small diffs on this, and prior they had the flat-faced gears in here that were just cast gears. I did not think those were going to hold up to the big 540 size, brushless power, and the size and the weight of this vehicle. Now they have nicer helical gears in here. So with a helical gear, you get a whole lot more contact because the gears are actually curved. You're getting a whole lot more contact around that gear instead of just those little square face-to-face contact patches around here. Really thick dog bones. Well, actually, they're U-joints all the way around, so you have a dog bone on one end and then the universal joints at the ends. They've also gone away from the cast aluminum steering knuckles and rear hubs. These actually have plastic knuckles on the front and the rear. Again, I much prefer that over those cast aluminum things just because there's some give and forgiveness to them, to where the cast ones are just going to last until they don't, and then it's gone. So you have a pretty nice thick all aluminum chassis plate with the plastic side rails. Now you do have two upper aluminum chassis braces that are bracing from the rear end to the center diff, and then center diff to the front end, to help keep that plate chassis from tacoing. And also the chassis is kicked up on the outside edges to add some additional strength there as well. It does come with the 3S battery pack. The battery is a 2600 milliamp 25C 3S LiPo. Oh, it does have the oil-filled kind of big bore shocks on it. I did check; they're full of oil. The oil does feel a little thin, so obviously drive it, see how it is, and you can adjust the weight of the oil as you see fit. Now, I haven't taken the diffs out. I haven't taken anything apart. The only thing I did is I did pull a cap off just to make sure that there was oil in them. But other than that, we're just going to run it completely bone stock. I'm not going to go in there and look at the gears. I'm not going to tweak anything or shim anything or add different oils or grease or anything in there. We're going to run it as it came. I just got the battery charged up. I used my regular hobby charger for it instead of the included charger. Now, it's only a 2600 milliamp 25C, so I charged it at the 2.6 amps, and it took 30 minutes to get a full charge on it. Now, it was on a storage charge, obviously, and but it sure beats the probably hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know how long the USB charger is going to take. Obviously, it will work for you guys, but I'm pretty sure if you're buying something of this caliber, you probably already have a hobby charger. And if you don't, spend an extra $30, get you a good hobby charger off of Amazon while you're ordering this, and don't wait for the USB one. So I'm going to get this guy buttoned up. We're going to get out and run it around and see how it does. Again, I'm just going to run it around the yard for a little bit. May take it out on the track, throw it around on the track a little bit, see how it does. But more than likely, this is just going to be kind of a yard bashing thing. I'll try to take a couple GoPros out with me and set it up for the track. And then we're just going to rip it around. So see you guys out there. Well, all right, guys, so we got done with the first run, burned up the first battery pack in it. These batteries are okay. You know, eventually down the line, you're probably going to want to upgrade to something with a little bit more capacity. I got about 20-ish minutes out of it. I don't know exactly. There was one issue while running it, but that's been resolved. It was a range issue. Now, these aren't known to have, you know, quarter-mile ranges at all. It's a fairly basic radio system, which is generally fine. But when I first got it out, it would get about, you know, 60 feet away from me and lose signal. And I couldn't figure out why. I changed the batteries in the controller, just thinking, okay, maybe I grabbed 4 batteries that were old, but changed the batteries in the controller, exact same thing. Didn't know what was going on. I did find that the antenna in the receiver was only poking up maybe 10 millimeters. So that didn't seem right. So I just grabbed the antenna and pulled on it and pulled out, you know, 35, 40 millimeters of antenna at that point. So that definitely increased the range and, you know, helped out a lot. I could actually drive it away from you and not, you know, blink out. One cool feature that it has is when it gets too close to LiPo shutoff, the front light starts flashing. You know, it just pulses on and off. Or if it loses signal, it'll sit there and pulse on and off. So it lets you know that, hey, something's not right or your battery's about ready to go away. So that is kind of cool. And well, I've got, I think, 1 or 2 more of these. So I will get out for some more running and put that at the end of the video. So you guys are going to get 2 run videos in one. But overall, it ran great. It's got more than enough power. I think with some diff tuning, it can do a little bit better. The way it's set up now is you have a center diff, rear diff, front diff. So I kind of like it the way it is because when the front end unloads, the center diff kind of pushes a little bit more power to the front and takes away a little bit of power from the rear, so it just doesn't rock it up and get on the rear wheels. I am going to thicken it up just a little bit to try to, you know, so it will actually get up and ride a wheelie a little bit. But for a newer driver or you're just trying to keep it on the ground, set up fairly well as is. After running it, the diffs have loosened up some, which is normal. You know, they're going to be fairly stiff when you get it, and after a run or 2, they'll loosen up some. So that should help with the performance as well. But great power, great braking. You know, I did have one issue with the steering, and that was nothing to do with the truck. I had taken it for a run in the driveway and evidently had 4 or 5 loose rocks rattling around in here. And when I got out on the track, I went around a corner and I actually hit one of the pipes, and then I didn't have any steering. I'm like, oh great, I broke it. And then I got over there and I could hear the steering moving. I could see it trying to move, but basically there was a giant rock jammed between the steering rack and the link, keeping it from being able to move. So dug that out, everything is fine. The built-in servo saver into the bell crank, you know, allowed the servo to try to keep moving, but you know, didn't allow anything to get broken, either the servo horn, the servo gears, or anything like that. So that worked very well. Fans kept everything nice and cool. The ESC didn't get hot. The motor, you know, it got warm, but you know, you can put your finger on there and hold it no problem. So the fan cooling the motor actually helped out pretty well. You know, overall, I'm going to leave it up to you guys if this is something you're interested in. You know, the links are down in the description below, both to the Amazon site and to the HOSIM resale site. Now on the Amazon, there's a coupon code you can click and save money on it. And then on the HOSIM, there's a coupon code you can enter on their site and save money there. So it kind of works out basically same. You know, whichever is more convenient for you. Most people are going to probably choose Amazon because, you know, free shipping and, you know, just a whole lot more convenient. But either way you go, you can grab one. You know, they did send this over to me for review. Not getting paid for it, not getting told what to say. This is just my overall thoughts of it. I'm going to keep running it. I think this one is going to hold up better than the previous one that they sent me, just with the different diff gears in here. So I'm going to keep beating on it and see how well it holds up. And we'll have a follow-up on it in a few weeks. But like I said, I'm going to get the pack recharged up, take it back out, and run it some more. Get you guys a little bit more footage since the first one was a little bit interrupted. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up. You know, overall, this thing does really, really well. Some tuning is needed, maybe some work on the shocks, you know, figure out what oil is going to work best for the environment you're running on, and tuning some of the diffs, whether it's thicker grease or oil. I don't even know if they're oil compatible, but definitely you could throw some marine grease in there, slow the rear diff or the center diff down, hopefully. That's going to be what I'm going to do next, is tear that center diff out and thicken it up a little bit. You know, the way it drives very, very forgivingly now. It will pull the front wheels up, but in general, it just squats the rear end down and the front end is digging. The only problem with that is you're putting a lot of wear on that diff by driving, you know, the front wheels 80% of the time, hyperspeed, and the rear wheels are trying to catch up. So I'm going to thicken that up, and then hopefully we can actually utilize this wheelie bar a little bit more. But overall, very satisfied with it. Now, there is some creasing back here on the back, but I planted this thing dead on, hard as it could, on the rear wing backwards. I mean, it just lawn darted into the ground backwards, goofing off, and you know, kind of got that 75%, that 50% backflip, and it just kind of dug in. So it smashed the whole wheelie bar wing support right up into the body hard. So even if this was a pure Lexan body, it would have probably either cracked or creased it as well. So I'm not too worried about that. It's a Badger. It's going to get beat up. Otherwise, the body held up very well. Now, occasionally I will hear the front end clip. I don't know whether it's the lower or the front up here, but those front tires balloon, and then if they kick sideways or you turn too sharp, you'll hear it, you know, get into the body a little bit. So far, no issues, no signs of damage from that. No big deal. I have to give them credit for this whole rear wing wheelie bar assembly. Solid, as you can tell by the dirt on it, and I don't know whether the videos captured it, but again, I planted it hard back here. It did a couple big long tumbles, front to rear, front to rear, front to rear, front to rear, and drove away. Blew it off, cleaned it up just a little bit, just to look at it. And like I said, other than the creasing on the body, there's no visible issues at all with it. Worked great. Other than the range issues I had at the beginning, that was the only problem. So I'll let you guys check out the links below, see if this is something you're interested in. And thanks again, HOSIM, for sending this over for review. And I'll definitely have it back out again on the channel, just bashing around in the yard. So until next one, guys, everybody out there, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I'll catch you later. Bye.